So if I'm recording this this little part because I want to go over the lab a little bit, and so I opened up my ArcGIS Online account, and I see a big red thing that says fix issues in your story. So right away my blood pressure's up. I don't know what it means yet, and I haven't clicked on it to find out, but I'm looking at this. So that's often if like you guys added the thematic and the reference map that I created. So I created those maps in this application. So this is ArcMap, ArcGIS Desktop. So I created the map, and then I loaded it on our community college account to serve it out to the public. If I were to take that map down, then it'll be a broken link in your story map. So what you're doing is streaming that data. And so that's the first thing I wanted to look and see if maybe some data that I had up there was no longer available. Okay, so that's still up there, and that's still up there. And then the lab for this week is still up there. So that all looks good. So now I'm really worried, and I'm wondering if I plagiarized something. So I'm gonna click this, and it says fix issues in your story. Important message about security. This makes me so crazy. I don't want to learn more today. I'm going to close that. Story is shared but has issues. It has issues. Okay. So these are my issues. What am I? There issues are scrollable. You can identify these issues. Fix below. Okay. Layer was added as an item, then is deleted or indexed. Oh, so when I first made this, I corrupted that reference map, and then I fixed it again. So I think this is maybe an old issue. So here's something that would be really important for you as computer users. If you get something like this, it's a great idea to contact, if you were working with an IT department or working with me, to contact me and say, hey, I got some error messages on my map, and this is what they are. If you just say, I got error messages on my map, I think all I can say is, oh, I'm so sorry. I can't help you. So I have a product called Jing, which I love, and Jing lets me create a video or a screenshot. So I could create that. I can capture it. I can save it and put it in an email so that I could actually see what your error message was. But even better, it has a little video program that lets me talk about stuff in videos. My video captures my screen, so I could say, okay, so these are the error messages that I have. It looks like I don't have any error messages with these layers, but this one I've got some problems with, and I'm not sure how to fix that. So layers were added, inaccessible, and in this instance, I'm going to say ignore. This may be a bad idea, but I'm going to choose ignore because when I looked at my story map, everything was there. So if you were to run into a problem and you were to record it, you could then finish that. You could upload that to a cloud server. So I'm going to call this Songer Story Error. I'm going to upload it. And if you weren't at Lane, this would copy really quickly. And if you weren't at my house during prime time, this would copy really quickly. I'm noticing a real difference in my upload capacity at home. I don't know if the whole net neutrality going away is impacting us yet. But what that's doing is it's taking that little video clip, it's putting it on cloud space, and then if I do Control V, there is the web address. I can send that to somebody. I'm going to enable Flash Player. And then here's the video. So this is a free product that is from TechSmith, works on a Mac or a PC, and it is awesome for problem solving. This one is called Jing by TechSmith. You have the snipping tool, and the snipping tool will allow you to take a screenshot of a section, and you can see some of the tutorials that we have, or when I've done that, and then I've saved that as a JPEG on my desktop and added it to a document. But you could do that as well. So one of the things I've found with working with IT is that when I get an error message, I capture that error message, because sometimes the code and the wording is critical for them to be able to understand what's going on. And there's a lot of ArcGIS error messages that I've created and I'm familiar with. So if you can capture those when you have problems and send it to me, that would really help. The other thing I want to try later this term is Zoom, to see if we can do some screen sharing. If anybody has trouble and I'm at office hours, maybe we can do some problem solving that way. I've posted an example of one of the student projects. So this one has a discussion of thematic maps, and this is the text here is kind of from the lecture and from the text that I assigned. And then here are her examples of good and bad thematic maps. She zoomed in on Oregon. The reference map here, again, she's got zoomed in on Oregon. She's got some example, and her URLs are complete. If you got it, and I posted that on Moodle, so that if you want, you can take a look at that one. If you got an error message from me, not an error message, a message about an error, that your citation wasn't complete, I added a little video on this week's forum post, so that will give you some help with that. So one of the things, common errors that I'm seeing, if I go into, I did view application, right? Yeah. If I go into view application and choose share, I've got a couple links. I don't want this long link. This thing can be really problematic. One thing is, when I'm grabbing it from Moodle, sometimes I can't see the whole web link because it's really long. So make sure you get these short links, and it defaults to private. So if you hit it public, then I can't open that. Okay, so just make sure that you've got that. Let's see, can I close that? Another thing I saw is some people forgot to uncheck the synchronized maps. So what that does is, wherever your first map was focused, all subsequent tabs will be focused there as well. And if you wanted to see Oregon in my thematic map, it wouldn't show up when I click thematic. So that's one of the things that we want to do with this one. Were there any other questions about this or problems people ran into? No? Cool. They were fun. They were really fun to look at. And there were a lot of bad maps out there. There were a lot of good maps out there that people talked about. So I was impressed with this work. And I have to say, I had 120 students do story maps this week, and only 3 I couldn't open, which is phenomenal. And then they were fixed. It was an easy fix. So very cool.